Come on. You got it. The boys are back in action.
Let's
Dirty
go.
630 show. Let's roll. Today is Thursday, July 31st.
Come on.
We hope you didn't miss us. We
Football,
know you
baby.
did, but it's action time. Boys are back to ready to roll. But Nick, before we go any further, how have you been as of late? Let
I'm
the
good,
people
man.
know.
It's summer. Summer's coming to an end, unfortunately. Where has time passed here? But hey, we got the Hall of Fame game coming on tonight.
Football.
That is why we're live Thursday, 6:30 Central Time. Mark it down on your calendars, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to be here every Thursday, kicking off Thursday night football. But Griff, how you been? How's the summer going? And how is the action at Doc Sports been going?
You know, Doc's is always great.
Come on.
Doc's is always great. Living the dream, man. Can't complain. Having a phenomenal summer. Weather's finally great. We're back in Chicago. I actually haven't been here in a long time when it comes to, I got summers, for instance, but happy to be back. Happy
Boys
to be
are
on
back.
the Dirty 630. Ring the bell,
on.
baby.
Let's
Come
go.
on. Boys are back in action. Absolutely happy to be here. And we did actually, to start things up, we wanted to touch up on this. So obviously the extra Dirty 630, that went over on the website and went premium. And Nick and I, we wanted to explain this to you guys about what happened, the misconception, whatever the hell.
All
you
the
guys wanna call
parlays,
it.
they were slimmed down, and we're
Yeah,
going
go
to
ahead,
tell
take
you
it.
exactly why that happened, because we had so many people coming in at one time on the text service that they didn't understand the rules, and we weren't here every single day to show you guys and to implement and to dig into your brains risk management. And this is the whole reason behind it, is because we're getting a bunch of people in. We know the biggest thing on our behalf is to make you guys profitable on this text line, and Griff and I shorten it up. But hey, we ain't going anywhere. We're starting the show back up, and this is why we're starting the show, is to enforce that these rules need to be applied to you guys, because we had service emailing us, calling us, asking all these questions because people didn't know what was going on, and we're here to simmer it down, enjoy the risk, or learn the risk management, not enjoy, but learn the
Live
risk
television
management in this system, folks. It's going to be a hell of a parlay system. Stick with us, Griff. Go ahead and explain kind of why we haven't had 4 parlays in one day.
Exactly. So to put this basically in a nutshell, so Nick and I had ran the Dirty 630 show for nearly 3-4 months on YouTube for free. Absolutely. And basically we gave you guys the exact system, the 2-team parlays, the 3-team parlay, the 4-team parlay, and the whale bet. Well, as soon as we went premium, 500 tons of people, it loaded up so crazy. And the biggest issue that we had was everybody was struggling with the risk management, not understanding that every single selection that we give out in every single game must be paired up together for this parlay system to equal itself out, because it's all a mathematical edge. So that was the biggest thing. So now we are back in action on the Dirty 630 show. We will be recording this Tuesdays and Thursdays, and every single time that we record this show, we will go right back into it and touch up on the system, on the risk management, and how critical this is. Because on our actual text line, and if you guys aren't already subscribed, if you're already new members, text the number 29022. Text the word extra there. You'll get a free trial and you'll automatically be signed up for all of our picks, because we're starting the parlay system right back up in action tomorrow. We wanted to put it on hold just until we got this show formulated to talk to everybody who's new, to teach you guys the rules, which, Nick, hit him with the sauce real quick before we go any deeper.
Come on, we got the sauce. What do you want? We got weekend series.
This is the rules. This is the rules.
Let's talk about the rules of the weekend
rules.
series.
Give them the rules of the parlay system. Then
Well,
we'll
you
get
got-
into weekend series action.
You guys already know what it is. There's 4 parlays in the system, okay? There is 2
Yo, how we
2-team
doing?
parlays. There is 1 3-team parlay, and there's 1 4-team Hail Mary parlay. We obviously know parlays come at a risk. That is why we take it out with our bow and arrow shot. That is Griffin and I's best play of the day. We both talk about it. And at a certain point, we realized that half of you guys were just taking the bow and arrow shot. And then that's why we had to take a step back, toss out a couple plays, bow and arrow shot, and then keep it going. But let's get into a little bit of a weekend MLB
Let's do it,
series,
baby. We're
Griff.
still in baseball.
All right, we still got baseball.
Come
I know
on.
the Hall of Fame
We'll
game's
get
coming
there.
around
We'll
the
get
corner
there.
here in about 30
Get
minutes.
it out.
But let's talk about MLB series talk. Griff, hit me with your favorite MLB series this week.
Yeah, man. And this is a very, very tough battle. I absolutely love it, though. And we've got the Houston Astros rolling into Boston to play the Red Sox. And it's very defined how we picked apart this series based on pitching matchups. So in game number 1, Garrett Crochet is listed to get the start for this Boston Red Sox team, and he's going up against Hunter Brown. Both of these guys have been absolutely sensational this season. The biggest issue, though, for the Houston Astros is A, they're in Fenway Park. B, they do not do well against left-handed pitching. So when I look at the pitching edge on that, we know the Astros are going to go all out. They're dealing with Crochet in game number 1 of the set. But at the same time, so are the Boston Red Sox, and they're at Fenway at home where they play their absolute best baseball. So to divide this thing up, you got to look ahead. So in game number 2, Walker Buehler gets the start. Walker Buehler's got very deceiving numbers, but this guy's a hell of an arm in that rotation. And he's somebody who's really starting to come together as the season is developing towards the second half of the season now. Walker Buehler, just so you guys know, you can look at his numbers and say this guy's numbers are absolutely atrocious. Yes, they are. But go look at his historical data when it comes to how he pitches at home at Fenway Park. So in this current series, that is 2 games already that we're splitting up. The third game of this series, still pitchers undecided. So what does that tell us? They're all looking ahead. So where do we look at this as handicappers? Who's got the better rubber matchup? Who's got home field advantage? And who is playing better baseball? That is the Boston Red Sox, 6-4 in their last 10 games, currently on a 2-game winning streak. And they're about 34-19 across those lines, something at Fenway Park. Weekend series. For it, give me the Boston Red Sox. Odds of minus 105 for the weekend series, boys. Nick, hit them game 2.
Series 2.
We're in the system, baby.
We're live, folks. We're live. We've been a little rusty, so give us a little break there. But how about Carlos Correa going back to the Houston Astros there, where he won a couple World Series? But that's not the weekend series I'm looking at. I'm looking at the Seattle Mariners and the Texas Rangers. We'll get into tonight's game, but let's talk about this weekend series as both teams making big moves as the trade deadline has come. I think they got a couple hours till the trade deadline is over. But how about
capped off?
How about the Seattle Mariners picking up Suarez there and Josh Naylor, 2 teammates from the Arizona Diamondbacks? Suarez coming back home to Seattle here, a huge pickup, I believe, in that lineup that's going to produce runs at a very fast rate. Their bullpen, their arms, they've been stacked. They've been stacked last year, but that offensive run production has let them down. I think the addition with Suarez back on the team with Naylor, his old teammate, they're going to fit in good. And then how about this Texas Rangers team? Miro Kelly just got picked up. Breaking news. The Arizona Diamondbacks, I don't know what they're doing. They just went to the World Series. Now they're just giving away left and right their players there. Miro Kelly going to the Texas Rangers. This is going to be a great addition to this rotation. You got DeGrom, Patrick Corbin even. I don't know where the hell he's been doing, but he's been doing absolutely phenomenal things, bro. Absolutely phenomenal things for the Texas Rangers. And now the addition to Miro Kelly. Watch out for the Texas Rangers and both of these teams. They're both in the same division, and they're hunting down what Griffin said, the Houston Astros. But let's look at this weekend series as I think Suarez, the fans are going to be behind him. I think he's going to have a phenomenal weekend here at home, and you're giving me plus value here with this rotation, and they're playing a Texas Rangers team. Yes, they've been producing runs, but they're going to Seattle. It's one of the hardest ballparks to produce runs in with this rotation. Give me the Seattle Mariners here at a dog price, plus 125 here at home. We got Suarez back in Seattle. I know the fans are going to be jacked up for him. I believe the Seattle Mariners get the series win. But let's talk about a little trade business going around. Like I just said, Suarez.
Trade deadline.
Going back.
Emergency press conference.
Breaking news. But how about Mason Miller, a closer for the Athletics, headed on over to the San Diego Padres. In addition, on top of Miller, they also got J.P. Sears, a southpaw, a very reliable arm in that Athletics rotation. Now going to the West Coast, well, the Athletics, Sacramento, they're still on the West Coast. But can this addition, both of these pitchers, get them over the hump on the Los Angeles Dodgers in this division?
Well, the biggest thing for me when I looked at these trades, Nick, was the biggest issue for the San Diego Padres has not been their pitching rotation.
Correct.
I get it. Darvish, he's been a complete bust. He's only got 3 or 4 starts this season, and he's gotten lit up in every single one of those. And then they've got Pivetta. Pivetta's been very good, very sneaky good this season. But going to this right now, I think that the Padres' biggest mistake was not going down and getting some offensive bats. I mean, this team right now, Nick, is 26th in baseball when it comes to offensive runs per game. Their team batting average isn't there. Their on-base percentage isn't there. Their slugging percentage isn't there. This team is doing absolutely nothing on the offensive side. So the biggest thing for me would have been for them to go grab themselves a barrel and maybe a defender. I don't love the whole pitching move that they did, but granted, they grabbed the best closer in all of baseball with Miller. So I'm not going to disagree with that.
It was a good pickup, and I'm going to go right back. The Rangers picking up Merrill Kelly. I just talked about this, but what are your thoughts on him coming to the Texas Rangers, a ball club that has a very good pitching rotation? Obviously, their offense can use a little bit of improvement on the runs per game, but that pitching rotation, the addition of Merrill Kelly, how does that affect these Texas Rangers in their push to take down the Houston?
It couldn't have worked out better for him. It couldn't have worked out better for him. You've got Eovaldi. You've got DeGrom. Then you go and pick up Kelly. Your starting rotation, am I missing anybody? Your starting rotation is absolutely stacked. Kumar Rocker. Now, we're going to talk about his ass in a minute. Kumar Rocker, for you guys, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to talk about this. This guy on the road this season, 9.90 ERA. But let's dial it back up to when he plays at home. When Kumar Rocker is at home, he's got a 2.34 ERA. So the dynamics change heavily for this team right now. The Texas Rangers, their biggest issue has been run production. The pitching has been there all season long. It's been sensational. It's been first in baseball runs allowed against all season long. Their bats are coming to a life now. They're finally starting to score runs.
Back.
Second half of the season, Seager is back, and that is the heart and soul of that team.
He's the key.
So I love it. The way that this team is moving, and Kumar Rocker, this team does make postseason. You're going to see a lot of him coming out into the relief side of things, into the playoffs when we start talking playoff baseball. But that's where I wanted to go with that one, Nick. If you got any other trades up your sleeve that you're thinking,
I have to. You guys know I'm a Chicago diehard.
He's on it. He's on it.
You guys know I'm a Chicago diehard, just like Detroit Lenny and his Detroit Tigers.
He's got his Tigers.
And we haven't talked about this yet because the trade deadline's coming to a close. But did the Cubs do enough to get them over the hump to take those divisions? I don't know.
I'll let you answer that.
I don't know because the Cubs, and you guys hear me say it over and over again. I sound like a broken record on Docs Daily, especially when I talk about my Chicago Cubs. Why? Because they need bullpen arms. They just got rid of Chris Flexen. You're welcome. I told you, get him out of Chicago. That's exactly what they did. But they did not do enough here at the trade deadline, and it might come to bite them in the butt here with the Milwaukee Brewers. And let's talk about these Milwaukee Brewers, man. They are been flying under the radar. They got Freddie Peralta, a sub-2 ERA. I believe he's 12-4 on this season. You got Mizorowski. You got guys that are flying under the radar here.
Woodruff's back.
Woodruff's
this guy's
back.
Shoving
for the NL Central. You got guys flying under the radar for this Milwaukee Brewers team. All the talk is about the Cubs and those position players, but how about these Milwaukee Brewers? They're playing with everybody. That pitching rotation is one of the best here in Major League Baseball. They showed it in the first half here. They've been absolutely phenomenal, but they fly under the radar. It's a team to watch out for. I don't know if my Cubbies did enough at that trade deadline to get them over the hump. I know we'll get a wild card here. They're playing really good baseball, and I'm not concerned. I'm concerned about their rotation. Yes, we don't have that bullpen, which we needed to pick up. I don't know what the hell they were doing. They didn't go out and get a Miller to close it down when we got a 6-run lead. They're going to blow the lead because they had Chris Flexen. Not anymore. He's down. But end of story. I could go on a rampage.
I'm gonna cut him off really quick and just talk about this. Cubs did absolutely nothing they needed to do to win the World Series this season. And for my eyes, I see that as kind of a lay down in a situation. They have all the talent. They have all the starting pitchers. They have the bullpen. Not necessarily. That is where they struggle the most. Offensive barrels are absolutely there. But the Cubs, the way that I see that they're looking at it is going into next year, they know Steele's coming back. They know they have fresh arms coming back into that rotation. And a lot of their guys are here to stay. So that's the biggest thing to keep up on. The other team we're going to talk about really quick, Tigers, go and get Paddock. Are you kidding me? You couldn't find anybody better than Paddock. Sorry, Lenny. Absolute shit show. That is the worst move I've ever seen in a starting rotation situation when all you've got is Tarek Skubal to start for you guys. Flaherty's been a complete bust. Olsen out. I mean, give me a break. You needed a pitcher.
Casey Mize, you better step up to the occasion.
That was the guy.
you're number 2 now, you better step up to the occasion in this second half, especially to not only please our Detroit Lenny, but to please those fans in Detroit, because you got to have a number 2. You got to have a number 3. They got bullpen arms. Detroit, you got to get somewhere, and you got to establish a rotation, and Casey Mize needs to step up to the occasion. But let's get into a little juicy. We're gonna
real quick. Let's catch up on the chat. We got Gio in the house. We got Biddy Manson. How we doing? We got Lenny in there going chaos. We've got Rogue.
Welcome
Guys,
back.
Come on, throw a few likes in there.
The
Lenny's getting. If you're superstitious, you better throw a like in there right now, or you're losing.
You're losing tonight.
That's Lenny's words. I'm stealing them. Throw some likes in there for the boys. But Lenny, it's parlay time, brother. Oh wait, no. It is not parlay time. It is prop time. Slow it up. It is prop time. Prop. We're going back to the Seattle Mariners. As I just talked about how good George Kirby has been. This is a divisional matchup. Kirby 5-5 on the year with a 4.50 ERA. Incredibly deceiving. But he has dealt with the Rangers 9 times in his career. He's a perfect 7-0, and it gets better. 1.15 lifetime ERA against these bastards. Take George Kirby over 5.5 strikeouts, odds of -140. Nick, hit him with the prop.
I like that even better. And we're going to the Nickies, Nerfies. All we care about on this segment is the first 6 outs of the ball game. And Nerfie means no runs first inning, and we're going right to it in the later game here between the Texas Rangers and the Seattle Mariners. Just like Griffin said, Kirby been phenomenal against these Rangers. The only thing we got to tighten up our butt cheeks for is going to be Rocker here.
He's on the road.
He's on the road. Exactly what Griffin said. He has success at home. He's clearly on the road, but it is Kirby a pitcher's ballpark here, folks. I think you get 3 outs. Go ahead and lock it in. We are going with the Nerfy, no runs first inning in the Seattle Mariners and the Texas Rangers, folks. Now, where you guys all came for, it is parlay
Lenny, light 'em up.
Time, baby. Come on, folks.
All right, who wants to talk some football now?
Hall of Fame
It's
game.
NFL time, baby. Hall of Fame game in action. We got kickoff here in 10 minutes. Ladies and gentlemen, emergency press conference again.
Parlay.
In 10 minutes from right now, we will not miss another Thursday until February of NFL football. Let's get fired up right
Crack
now.
them down. Take a shot. Get ready. Let's get ready to fire up, Griff. Hit me with that 2-team parlay. Same game parlay.
Action. Let's roll right now. I'm going to kick this one off. So we look at this game right now. Side, I'll let Nick take the side. Total. I'm going to take the total on this one. So we've got the Chargers going against the Lions. 2 very, very potent offensive teams and 2 head coaches that are very, very aggressive and love to play smash mouth football. Everything that I'm saying to you guys right now is is historical from last season. And this is what the public heard carries into their brains going into the next season. Little do we know, this is still preseason football. So when you are handicapping a situation like this, the smartest route to go, and I have found my success this way, and I have a phenomenal track record when it comes to my preseason record. This is all
this kid's phenomenal.
Psychology. This is all psychology based. So we're going to look at this. The Lions last year, they averaged nearly 33 points a game offensively. They're not going to see anybody in that starting. Jared Goff, maybe he'll play a few snaps.
I doubt it.
Gibbs ain't playing. None of these guys are going to be playing. And then on top of that, the other flip of the coin, Herbert was supposed to get the start. Now it's Trey Lance. Might be a little bit more aggression out of Trey Lance in this start. I will say he's got a little bit more to play for. But at the same time, these 2 teams are completely solidified across all cylinders. Their wide receiver cores, their running back cores, their quarterback cores, their entire defensive outlooks. Both of these teams, not the Lions, their defense sucks. They're going to run into a lot of issues because they are banged up right now.
Sorry, Lenny.
The psychology of where you look at this, everything in the world is telling us to take the over here. 2 high potent offenses going at it. 2 brutal defenses going at it. Jared Goff, Justin Herbert, Trey Lance, Dan Campbell, Harborough. I could go down the list. These are all reasons to go with the over. That is exactly why for game number 1, we're drilling the under 33.5 points in this matchup. Psychological trap. I'm calling bullshit. That is game number 1. Nick,
Boom.
game 2.
I love it. And I will just emphasize on that under here. The over is hit 3 years in a row, but historical data says that on average, a Hall of Fame game averages 38 points. Take that under today. I believe that this game will go under. And as well, let me give you the side here. I don't have statistics, and I guarantee you, come third quarter, you won't even know who the running back is for the Chargers or probably the Detroit Lions because their backups are going to be playing. But you know what? I know one guy. It's Dan Campbell. He's going to have these boys ready. He probably drank 10 cups of coffee right now, and he's getting the boys ready. You know his pace. You know the tempo. You know Dan Campbell's going to have his boys ready and to make his statement here on the Hall of Fame game. I'm excited to see those Hall of Fames be introduced there into the Hall of Fame here for 2025. But hey, I'm all over the Detroit Lions -2 with the under. That is your 2-team same game parlay for the Hall of Fame game here tonight. I think it's kicking off in about 5 minutes. So there you go for the 2-team parlay. Now,
7 minutes till kickoff. 7 minutes till kickoff. Nick, now are you rolling with it? Lenny, you know what's coming. Nick's been sharpening that bastard for 3 months in hibernation. He's got 40 of them missiled up, ready to go. We need the bow and arrow intro. Get it rolling because we're going. There it is. It was a little bit more dead than I guess I expected, but you know what? We're going to bring it back.
The bow,
so,
the arrow.
Bow, the arrow. Time to crank it out, baby. Tonight's matchup. So, the Seattle Mariners are going up against the Texas Rangers. We already mentioned George Kirby. How sensational. 7-0 lifetime against them in his career with a 1.15 ERA. Absolutely ridiculous. Kumar Rocker, as I've already mentioned, this guy pitches sensational at home. Perfect 3-0 record with a 2.43 ERA. But with Rocker on the road tonight, I have a feeling he is going to get absolutely rocked in this matchup as he's sitting with a 1-4 record and a 9.91 ERA. There is nothing to overlook in this matchup. Nick, get the bow. Get the arrow. We are going with the Seattle Mariners on the run line. Odds of +125, baby. Boom! Rocket, let's go. We're back.
Just like we've been talking about the whole show here. Suarez going back home to Seattle. I think he has a big game here tonight against the Texas Rangers, who are hunting down the Houston Astros here for first place in the division. I love the Seattle Mariners. I think George Kirby gets off to a great start here. Love Griffin's prop, the over 5.5. Give me Suarez over 1.5 bases as well. How about Josh Naylor for over 1.5 bases as well? Take the bone arrow shot. The Seattle Mariners -1.5 run line over the Texas Rangers for our bone arrow shot, baby.
Boom! Let's go. Rock and roll,
the boys are
baby.
back, baby.
We are back. You already know it. 36:30, baby. Stay tuned. Always. We're going to be back, obviously, Tuesdays and Thursdays. And to give you guys a rundown. So, obviously, this is a little bit different of a formatted show than you guys are typically used to. We usually get on, we give you guys the rules, the sauce, and then we give you the parlays, and then we give you the bow and arrow, and then we jump off. Over at the website, text the number if you are a new member, 29022. Text the word extra. You could automatically get yourself set up for a free trial. Nick and myself held off, as we mentioned earlier on in the show, on the parlay system because nobody understood the rules. So in that text line, we will also be telling everybody, go check out this video because we cover the rules in this, and we will be repetitively doing that week in, week out. We will be recording the show on Tuesdays and Thursdays. So at 6:30, the dirty 6:30, so twice a week. So you guys will be reminded. That way there'll be no more screw ups, and customer service and Guy won't be calling me ready to absolutely rip my throat out on a daily basis. But Nick wanted to say something.
Make sure to text extra to 29022. Griffin and I will be tossing out right after this show our bow and arrow shot. You already got it if you were here live. Seattle Mariners on the run line. And I'm going to give you a little secret gem with that free 60 at Doc Sports. Yeah, this guy to my right has a play of the year in MLB baseball. Ladies and gentlemen, pick it up for free tomorrow. You do not want to miss it.
6:45, first pitch.
Killing it on the diamond here. Bone arrow shot coming at you. Griff, close it down, bro.
I
It's
got
good
you.
to be
I got
back.
you. You
It's good
guys
to be
already
back.
know what it is.
It's good.
We're
to be
back in action tomorrow. Already dialed in. Play released. 6:45 p.m. 8-unit game of the year on the MLB Diamond. We're coming off a CFL 8-unit game of the year about 2-3 weeks ago, looking to keep that momentum rolling. But for new members, head on over to docsports.com/free60. There you can go grab yourself a free $60 account. You could use that free $60 on our premium selections, our absolute best bets for free. Nick, before we get off the show, you got any last words? Anything you want to talk about over at the website? What's the action? What do we got?
We got a lot of action, of course, as always. UFC, baseball, blah, blah, blah. But the most important thing, the boys are back. We're back. We're going to get you profitable. Make sure to text extra to 29022. The boys are back.
Thanks for tuning in, everybody. We will be back in action with you, Dirty 630 live Tuesday, 6:30 p.m. Tune in. We'll see you guys then.